Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel SS Analysis. First of all, I would like to tell you that if you are watching this video first time, subscribe my channel to see my more upcoming videos on analysis of different commodities and equity indices. And second important thing is to watch this video till its end to understand this only to take your decision. Your work like will motivate me to be regular in working hard for you. Let us start the day to analyze the movements of natural gas futures in different time frames. So first here you can see a weekly chart of natural gas futures. So here you can see that how the natural gas futures have been maintaining an uptrend from the levels of the 3.540 what it tested in December 2021, and from here the natural gas futures continue to make an upward move during the month of December and January, and here you can see that how the natural gas futures found an extraordinary bounce from the levels of the 3.860 during the last week of January 2022, when the natural gas futures tested a high at the levels of the 7.346 during this week as Russia invaded Ukraine, and that resulted in a worldwide fear for the coming crisis due to growing inflation. But here this weekly move was seen as an indicator of the futures move. Undoubtedly there was selling from this level in natural gas futures, and the natural gas futures finally closed this week back at the levels of the 4.637, and once again the natural gas futures attempted to move upward during the next week and tested a high at the levels of the 5.456 but continued to remain under selling pressure and finally tested a low at the levels of the 3.860 during the next week, and from here this uptrend continued up to the levels of the 9.665. So this is a recent peak what the natural gas futures have tested in June 2022, and from here sharp selling continued, and finally the natural gas futures closed this week at the levels of the 8.874. So friends, here you can see that how the natural gas futures found stiff resistance at the levels of the 8.992, and once again the natural gas futures continued to test this resistance during the next week and once again faced stiff resistance at the levels of the 8.992, and from here selling spree continued during this week, and here you can see that how the natural gas futures finally tested a low at the levels of the 5.330 during the last week of June. So here I find that the natural gas futures finally found a base here at the levels of the 5.330, and from here once again the natural gas futures continued a rally from the first week of July 2022, and here you can see that how the natural gas futures continued to move upward. So here you can see that how the natural gas futures have been constantly maintaining an uptrend from the levels of the 5.330, and here you can see that how the natural gas futures have finally found a stiff resistance here at the levels of the 8.317 during the last week. So friends, here you can see that how we have seen wild price swings during the past 3 weeks, and here I find that undoubtedly the natural gas futures could take a decisive move during the upcoming week. So friends, here I find that during the upcoming week the natural gas futures could start the upcoming week with a gap down opening on the first trading session of the upcoming week, where the natural gas futures could start well above the levels of the 7.876, and here I find that if the natural gas futures are not able to defend this level during the upcoming week, we'll see a sharp downward move up to the lows of the 7.539, from where the natural gas futures could find an immediate support from the 9 days moving average, which is currently at the lows of the 7.494, and from here the natural gas futures could once again found a rally on the upper side, and I find that if the natural gas futures find a sustained move well above this immediate resistance at the levels of the 8.304, we'll see this uptrend to continue up to the levels of the 8.990, where the Nasdaq futures could find a sharp sell-off from these levels. So friends, here find that we could continue to find wide price swings during the upcoming week, but the overall trend looks very choppy. So friends, here I find that if the Nasdaq futures are not able to find a breakout well above this resistance, we'll see sharp sell-off from here, where the Nasdaq futures could retest the levels of the 8.2 during the upcoming week, and here a breakdown well below the major support at the levels of the 8.065 will track down the Nasdaq futures well below the levels of the 7.847. As here I find that if the Nasdaq futures are not able to hold this major support at the 9 days moving average, we will see this downward trend to continue, and in that case the Nasdaq futures could retest the next support at the 26 days moving average, which is currently at the 6.770. So friends, now let us check this move in a daily time frame here. So friends, here you can see that how the Nasdaq futures behaved on last Friday. So friends, here in a daily time frame, I've already explained the importance of the formation of this bullish crossover in a daily time frame, and here you can see that how the Nasdaq futures finally found a breakout well above the 26 days moving average on July 18 and tested the lower end of HMO cloud, but could not find a sustainable move well inside this, and once again some selling was seen on July 19, and the Nasdaq futures remained indecisive well at the lows of the 7.391 and could not find a breakout well above the lower end of HMO cloud. And here you can see that how the Nasdaq futures started the day on July 20th from the levels of the 7.204 and tested a high at the levels of the 8.010. So here you can see that how the Nasdaq futures finally found a breakout well inside the HMO cloud, and on July 21st Nasdaq futures continued to sustain well inside the HMO cloud and finally closed the day in the indecisive manner well at the levels of the 7.847. And on Friday, once again the Nasdaq futures found a strong bouncing move well from the levels of the 7.874 and tried to find a breakout well above the upper end of HMO cloud, as I explained in my last video, that if the Nasdaq futures are not able to find a sustained move well above the upper end of HMO cloud, we could find some selling pressure. So friends, here I find that opening levels on the first trading session of the upcoming week will finally define the next direction move, where I find that if the Nasdaq futures find a gap down opening well below the immediate support at the levels of the 8.065, we'll see a downward move back up to the levels of the 7.764, where the Nasdaq futures could find some support from the lower end of HMO cloud. But here I find that if the Nasdaq futures are not able to hold this support, we'll see this downward move to continue up to the next support at the levels of the 7.332. And from here, once again, the Nasdaq futures could find a sharp reversal back up to the levels of the 7.866. So friends, here I find that once again the Nasdaq futures could remain extremely volatile, but the overall trend looks in downward direction, because here changing geopolitical equation could continue to create selling pressure in Nasdaq futures during the upcoming week, where I find that the Nasdaq futures find a sustained move well above the upper end of HMO cloud, which is currently at the levels of the 8.307. We'll see this uptrend to continue, where the next target for the Nasdaq bulls could be the levels of the 8.994. But from here, the Nasdaq futures could find sharp sell-off during the upcoming week, and the overall trend could remain bearish, because here I find that if the Nasdaq futures are not able to hold the immediate support at the levels of the 8.065, we'll see this downward trend to continue during the upcoming week, where the Nasdaq futures could retest the lows of the 6.551 on the lower side, and here I find that a strong reversal can be seen back up to the lows of the 7.493, and on the upper side I find that if the natural futures find a system move well above the immediate resistance at the lows of the 8.293, we'll see this uptrend to continue up to the next major resistance at the lows of the 9.075. So friends, here I find that if the natural futures find a sustained move well above the level of the 9.076, we'll see this uptrend to continue where the natural futures could retest the level of the 9.665 once again, what we have tested on June 8th, 2022. So friends, here I find that undoubtedly wild price swings could be seen during the upcoming week, but the overall trend could remain downward, because here I find that the opening level on the first trading session of the upcoming week will finally decide the further direction move, and here I find that if the Nigeria futures start the upcoming week well below the lows of the 8.065, we'll see this downward trend to continue where the immediate support can be seen at the lows of the 7.747, and here a big down well below this immediate support will see this downward trend to continue up to the lows of the 7.391, and on the upper side I find that if the Nigeria futures find a breakout well above the lows of the 8.477, we'll see this uptrend to continue where the next target for the bulls could be the lows of the 9.075, and only a sustained move well above this level will keep this uptrend upward. Otherwise I find that the natural futures could find stiff resistance at this level from where a sharp sell-off can be seen, and a selling spree could drag down the natural futures below the levels of the 7.484, and here a big down well below this major support will keep this trend downward where the next support can be seen at the 9 days moving average, which is currently at the levels of the 7.196, and the next support can be seen at the 26 days moving average, which is currently at the levels of the 6.869. So friends, here I find that the natural futures could remain extremely volatile during the upcoming week amid this expected trading range. So thank you friends, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to share this video with your more and more friends. Thank you.